Didn't know you were back.
Yeah, I got home last night. It's good to be home.
So how was it?
I managed to get a lot of thinking done.
Good. Well, I certainly want to hear all about it, but I'm actually here to admit a patient.
Is Spencer okay?
Yeah, he's fine. It's actually my grandmother.
Okay, how long do we wait for this latest threat to reveal itself?
Well, first of all, we don't wait. We form a defensive strategy as soon as we get enough intel to support it, and then we wait. And we wait as long as it takes for him to show his hand.
Well, showing up with Lulu already forced his hand. I mean, if we hadn't, you'd still be held a prisoner there.
Yeah, or already executed.
You know, while you were gone, our DNA test came in the mail. And, you really are my father.
You still had doubts?
Well, mostly about your disappearing act. You know, I mean, everyone said it was just Luke being Luke, you know. But, I don't know, I never understood why you'd leave.
I told you I won't bail on you, Ethan. Not without a heads up first.
Okay, so in the future then, if you promise to stick around and you do disappear, I can go ahead and assume foul play.
The foulest.
Welcome back, Luke. Now that was an intriguing phone call.
Hey, Natasha. Guess who's back in town?
You know, convalescent home may be better suited for your grandmother. The stunt she pulled at the reopening of the hospital may impair the ability of the staff to properly care for her.
I don't want to hear either, but she's been poisoned and she needs care while we identify which drug has been used. For reasons I can't explain right now, I need my grandmother in good health.
Well, I love you too, my darling. And soon you'll realize just how much.
What the hell is she doing here?
We're lucky. Why, it's been too long. I've missed you.
Thank you. You were held captive on Cassadine Island since mid-June.
Didn't you miss me?
I always miss you, Luke. I just thought you were off doing whatever it is that you do for months on end. How'd you get out?
Lulu and the Dodger with an assist from your nephew.
Yeah, we got a tip that Luke might be in trouble.
From someone inside the Cassadine compound.
So who would be willing to risk Helena's wrath?
A nurse by the name of Misha.
Misha?
So you've not heard of her, okay. Well, here's what happened. Helena had me whacked on the head here. She drugged me, hauled me off to Greece. I wake up in a cell, and I'm just stuck there. She'd take me out every once in a while, you know, clean me up, play a few games with me, and throw me back in there with the rats. Then one day I noticed that the guards had changed. You know, her usual hunky Buffy boys she has around her, they all changed. A much more serious, lethal group. And then just the other day, somebody left the cell door open. When I found her, she was in her room, in bed, sick, barely hanging on. She warned me that her illness and my incarceration were all planned by one of your siblings. You ever hear of a forgotten Cassadine, son of Mikos, with a penchant for revenge?
Oh, my God. Valentin?
That's the one. Can you shed some light on this newest enemy of ours?
Oh, I never met him. I've heard a lot about him, though. We all have. He did some really bad things to my dad, or he tried to anyway.
What kind of things?
Bad things. My dad was never quite sure it was Valentin because you could never actually see him doing it. He was kind of like a ghost.
There are no ghosts.
Exactly. I think he's a front for Helena.
Lulu called me last night and she said that my dad was home. She said that he had been held captive on your family island in Greece. So you tell me, what universe did you think it was a good idea to bring your grandmother here?
Well, Lucky. All that time we spent together, I'd hoped you'd grown as fond of me as I am of you.
What room do you have her in?
212. And as far as I'm concerned, she can't get there soon enough.
Take her to her room.
Oh, but I'm enjoying this reunion.
Now, please. Look, I'm sorry, all right? Someone tried to poison her.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry they screwed it up.
Hold on, by the same person who held Luke captive.
Who?
Yet another one of my grandfather's bastards, my uncle Valentin, who everyone thought was dead, and according to Helena, is determined to take out any Spencer and Cassadine he can find. That's why I need her well right now, because she's the only one who knows my uncle well enough to keep him at bay.
Okay, well, Helena is a disaster waiting to happen, and you know that. Nicholas, you better get her out of here. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry you had to come back to that.
It is not okay to do this to him. He cannot be around Helena.
I know.
After what she did to him?
Well, she's in no condition to hurt anyone right now, and honestly, I've never seen her this afraid, so... Anyway, did you come to any conclusions while you were away?
Yeah, well, I'm going to find a private room for you to fill out this paperwork. Come with me. You got my letter, right?
Yeah. So, you left town to get away from me?
Well, Lucky. You keep coming back to me like a sweet little homing pigeon.
You keep showing up like a bad penny.
Oh, so handsome. I have truly missed you.
I can't say the same. I don't buy this whole phony poisoning as much as I don't buy some deranged Cassadine just showing up.
Then you are making a serious and potentially fatal error.
And this is classic Helena. Inventing some threat to disrupt our lives. I'm not going to let you tear our lives apart again.
Lucky, I am not the enemy this time.
I was about to go on my break when I got paged here.
And look who showed up.
My, look at you. What an improvement over our last encounter. No, you are the very image of dear departed Emily. Although I'm afraid it's too little, too late.
I left to give myself the time and distance I needed to think clearly, to see if I could live my life under different circumstances.
Oh. You mean remarrying Lucky?
I mean remarrying Lucky despite my guilt over sleeping with you.
Well, I'm just as guilty as you on that front.
And you need to protect your relationship with Lucky. So do I.
Okay. So what? We just keep pretending that we never happened? Well, I mean...
Well, I can keep the secret. I mean, I can keep the secret if it means a life with Lucky and the boys, because I can make them happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want that happiness for them too. So I respect your decision. And I guess I'll do my part to try and make it work with Rebecca.